Today is going to be a good day. We headed down to Spokane and we are making a few stops today to hopefully get everything we need to build our bathroom. So step one is Windsor plywood to hopefully get all of the wood that we need to do our cabinetry.
Called ahead and I think they have everything we need. Well, that trip was way more successful than expected. Thank you so much for the help. Now the car is full of wood. Where's Courtney?
Hello! I'm in the back. The guy at the plywood store said I'm riding president style, and I'm okay with that.
We have 10-foot long boards and 8-foot long sheets of plywood in the car right now. This is awesome.
Now we are headed to do something that I've really been looking forward to, which is hopefully turn right on North Havana Street. Oh
turn
God!
Right.
Yes, turn right. I think I am quite literally backseat driving right now. We are headed to go pick out our tile for the floors and the wall of the shower, as well as the backsplash for the vanity. I found a store that has in-stock tile that sells customer direct, and I'm really hoping that we can find something. So hopefully we are 2 for 2 today. That would be amazing and make this hour-and-a-half trip to Spokane totally worth it. Well, that tile store wasn't a bust. I just didn't love anything. So there's a Lowe's here. We're gonna give that a shot. Engineered stone sill. I like that color.
Score, they have these one-piece engineered stone thresholds. That's exactly what we need for the top of our curb. So we have one nice seamless piece along there. They even have it in the dimensions that we need.
All right, store 3 for tile. We're headed over to Home Depot to see if maybe they have something that would work.
A different Home Depot than we normally go to, hoping they have something different.
It's much larger, so I'm hoping that means they have more options.
I'm feeling hopeful.
Really? I'm not. We're gonna go back to the discount tile store and I'm gonna give it a second look. Now that I know my options are pretty slim.
Maybe a less critical look the second time around.
You guys, it's hard. Most tile is not sold customer direct, and you order it through a store, and everywhere we've called, it's like weeks lead time to get tile. So we're trying to find something today so we can install it tomorrow, which really limits our options, and I know that. And in another life, I probably would plan better, but that's not really how we work. Riley thinks I'm crazy, but I think this is gonna work, you guys. So
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's a lot busier than it's not the safe choice.
we've always done safe choices in our flips because we want to make them so that everyone loves them. But I want to go a little bolder. We'll see.
All right, well, let's do it because the store's closing, so we got to go.
All this tile
On the hitch carrier.
Riley ran to town to go run some errands, and while he's gone, I'm gonna try to get this bathroom fully prepped for tile, which means that I need to get it fully painted. Before I can do that, I need to do what I think is the worst job ever, which is sanding the drywall. So let's get it done. But first, now I'm ready. It's about to get cold in here. Still the worst job ever, but it's totally done now, which means that I can move on to painting, which is way less messy. So I'm gonna get a little bit cleaned up and then we'll work on getting everything primed tonight, hopefully with both coats. The question is, can I get this open? Oh, no. Okay. ask me where the paint can opener just fell. Whoops.
Courtney, can you tell us why you're wearing insulated bibs inside?
They're only mildly insulated. Because I don't want to get paint on all my clothes.
She's standing on the shower curb in her slippers while painting.
How do you paint?
I don't paint.
Oh,
I'm not a painter.
Fair enough. You're not.
Is that how the pros do it? Want to comment on it?
It looks great. It looks like a white, sterile bathroom. We'll just leave it like this.
It was a full moon last night, and I think the dogs had an absolute party while we were asleep. Boone, what is going on in here? What happened? There is stuffing all over the floor. And ripped up paper towels and toys. Courtney's slippers were under the bed last night. Now they're in here? Bailey, what is going on? This Jeep had been sitting for a couple of years before we bought it, and as a result, this battery was completely neglected. It's been really weak, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it before it leaves us stranded.
We have had 5 bald eagles flying over the shop, and it's so cool.
And now we can repurpose the old one.
Recently, when Riley was setting up our shed, a lot of you had expressed concerns about rodents getting into our shed, and that is absolutely a concern that we have as well. We found something when we were at SEMA that we have been really eager to try out, and I think this is the perfect application for it. This is the mouse blocker. This is specifically the Mouse Blocker Pro, and we're gonna get one of these set up in the shed and see if it helps solve this problem.
This mouse blocker can be used either 12 volt off your vehicle's power or 120 volt off your house's power. We're going to be using it 12 volt in our application, so I went ahead and removed the transformer.
Is it about to turn on?
Yeah, I think it will. So, it's kind of a temporary setup because I don't have the side posts for this battery. But we're just going to clamp it on with these alligator clamps. So this is where we run the generator now for a couple hours every other day. This is a battery tender, and I'm going to run the cord through the wall. So the other cool thing is that this is going to allow us to hook up some lights in here that are just powered off this battery. So now with the battery tender hooked up to the generator, every time we run the generator to charge our camper's power system, it'll also charge this battery. And it's also got an automatic cutoff, so if the battery voltage drops below 11 volts, it will automatically turn the mouse blocker on.
Hey, Boone. Oh boy. You guys, come on, we gotta go run in the snow. Come on. We're really excited to be giving these mouse blockers a try. They've also got a smaller version that we're going to be putting in my car and the Snowverlander, and they have an even larger version that we're going to be installing in the shop. So I put a link down below to everything that we're using, and we will make sure to report back to you guys to see how they work. And if you guys have any experience with the mouse blockers, let us know down in the comments because we are curious if it worked for you. So Something super interesting about the mouse blockers is when we're out there, we don't hear them really at all, but when I'm editing the footage on the camera, they show up like super loud. So that's interesting, but we've had them a week now and no sign of rodents whatsoever.
New battery in with a questionable ratchet strap tie down, but at least it has something tying it down now. Let's see if it starts better. We get a lot of questions about why we haven't been using the Snowverlander, and the answer is, well, we have been, we just haven't been filming using it. This Jeep does really well on deep snow, while the chained up truck does much better on the hard packed ice.
Last night I got both coats of our vapor barrier primer up on the walls and the ceiling of the bathroom, which means that today it's ready for finish coats. That's really exciting because if I can get both coats done today, that means we can actually really start tiling tomorrow. So Riley had to run to town again today to run some more errands, and I'm gonna try to get this done while he's gone. I'm using the same paint line that I used in the rest of the house, but I'm using their bath and spa. It's still a matte finish, but it is rated for wet room, so I think it's gonna look really good, and I'm using the color Sea Salt by Benjamin Moore. The really good news is that the walls and the ceiling in the bathroom are the same color, so I don't have to really cut in, I just need to get in all the corners. Alright you guys, the goal is to not make a huge mess. And just like that, the first coat is done. It's looking really good in here. One tip I wanted to tell you guys is like mudding a room is so much work and it's really easy to get burnt out and just kind of like stop caring. And so one thing that I found is before I even start, I identify which walls are my most important walls. So like in this bathroom, that's this wall because this is the hallway. So it's pretty often that you're gonna be looking down this wall and you're gonna see any imperfections. So I'll identify my important walls and I will give it everything I have. Like I will say, okay, this wall has to be perfect. Then I'll identify my not important walls. Like this wall is gonna have a giant cabinet on it and you're never gonna be standing here looking down it. And I'll give myself a lot more slack on those walls. And I found that that really helps me come up with a nice room where I don't get burnt out because I don't do drywall professionally and it's super frustrating at times. So I hope that tip helps. I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll come back in a few hours and do coat number 2. I've got the second coat down on the walls and drying, which means that this bathroom is almost fully prepped for tile. We'll put the floors in tonight and then tomorrow we'll be ready to tile. I wasn't gonna show you guys the tile we're using until the install video, but I kind of teased it last video, so I feel like I need to give you just a little sneak peek. So here is one of the tiles. I just realized it perfectly matches my shirt. This tile is going to be going on one of the shower walls. There will be a different tile on the other shower wall and a different tile on the floor. So this is just a little sneak peek of what's going to be happening in here. I'm really happy with the color of these against the color of the walls, and I think it's going to look really good. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. This bathroom, we have a few really fun projects planned in here, including a custom vanity and wall cabinet. So you're gonna wanna make sure to keep following along. And if you're enjoying the series, if you can just make sure you're subscribed and maybe drop a comment down below, we'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you in a few days. Thanks, guys.